In the name of my ancestors. Peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what I call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper or the host of this program, known here on social media. Wherever you may find me, I am known as the Mighty Angel Snuff 7. I am your soul brother, number one. All right. I would like for you to pardon me as I make sure that Facebook is working properly. I lucked out. I don't know what I've done, but it seems as though Facebook is working. Send a shout out to my soul brother Gary Wilson and Isaiah Israel on Facebook. And let me check my YouTube. Rowan is in the house. Yes, yes. Mississippi is in the house. Movie script of the day. I thank all of you in the early moments of this video. I thank you so much for joining me. I must admit and I must confess that I am a little under the weather. I've been messing with some this stomach ailment for a little while. I'm getting better slowly but surely. I guess that's what comes with old age. When you're younger, you can get over things faster. But when you get older, it don't happen that way. Things take time. Things are slower. You can break your leg being a young person and your leg just heal on up. But when you're older, it don't work that way. You're going to be laid up for a little while. And this flesh and blood, this human body, it does not do what it used to do when it was young, when you was younger. So I'm just going to have to wait the time. I am fortunate because I am getting better. I could be getting worse. And you know what the ultimate worst is, don't you? The ultimate worst, I would have soul brother Gary be doing the eulogy. Well, my friends, we are gathered here. We're gathered here today to say goodbye to SNIFFY. We know him as Angel Snuff 7, and he has passed this life. That's the worst. And that's just the reality of things. We here today, gone tomorrow. I'm not going to turn into a ball of gas, some kind of ball of energy. I'm not going to go into some spiritual realm or whatever. I accept it just the way that it is. Does not bother me, does not scare me. I can't do nothing about it anyway. So what? Who cares? But while I'm here, and there are those of you who would continue to live after my passing, you still have a serious, serious problem. And your problem is living in this human cesspool, this human environmental garbage dump, not only in America, but around the world. Some of us have more doo-doo on us than others, but we all stink. We all screwed up, including the rich. You think that the rich got, if the famous, if celebrities was doing as well as we think they're doing, why are they committing suicide? Rich people, wealthy people commit suicide, become depressed. What are you depressed about? You got money, you got fame, you got fortune. A prime example is Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston, fame, fortune. But for some reason, she had to turn to drugs. And now Whitney Houston is not among us, but you would think she got everything. A handsome husband, Bobby Brown. We have to toss a coin on that one, I guess. But had a daughter, and the daughter is not here either. Money, fame, fortune. Her daughter is not here either. So you continue to live. The blessing is not life. The blessing really is death, because you don't have to deal with this no more. And you are out. You don't have to worry about this no more. The struggle is living. The easy way out is suicide. The easy way out is death. I'm not looking for the easy way out. Not that I'm afraid, but I am a lover of life. I understand that things could be better. I understand that a spook and a spirit and a ghost is not going to come out the sky. What put us in this condition? It was men that put us in this condition. And if men, human beings, put us in this condition, then men, human beings, can change it if they want to. But you see, men, the male gender, actually like it the way that it is, because they benefit. They like to control. They like to bully. They like to dominate. So they like this. They like to show, I can control the resources. I can control the people. I can control the animals. They always use their religion. Well, you know, God gave man the right and the power over the fish of the sea, the beasts of the field, and the planet and all that. They like to say that. So this is the mess that they created. If you don't like the human condition, then you have to blame men. Don't blame women. They following men. Blame the men. They are in leadership positions. President Trump is a leader. All your rich, wealthy folks in the background are males. These presidents and all these folks, the head of the household is the men. Everything is about manhood. The ones who control, dominate, murder, rape, and destroy is the male. So the male is out of control. And I don't care what race that man is. This male has been destructive, self-destructive. I don't care if he was by himself in Europe or in India or Africa or Asia. These males are crazy as hell. You may say, you're a male yourself. Why are you saying these things? Because they are true. I'm not going to make excuses for failure. I'm not going to make excuses for what is quite clear. Some of you will say, no, all men ain't like that. I'm not talking about all men. I'm saying the men that are in control, and the men that ain't like that sit back in the cut, and you are allowed other men to run life into the ground. And all thing you do is say, ain't nothing I can do. That's the way things is. This is the reason why we are in the condition that we're in, because the so-called good men won't do a damn thing, like Dr. King said. Why does evil exist? Evil exists because good people do nothing. The reason why these wicked men can do what they do, because the so-called good men do nothing because they're cowards. Pieces of trash. And you expect me to come on my platform, you expect me to come out in the public and continue to praise men, continue to give them accolades when they are the troublemaker. Men are the troublemaker. And of course, there would be those men that would give you examples of women who have been influenced by men. We don't have no idea of what women outside of the influence of men, we have no idea of what they would do. We have not lived in that type of society. So, if you don't like the human condition, men, the male gender, done it. Corrupt the women, corrupt the children, because these men have a mental disorder, still acting like savage animals. Out in the wild, you will have males that will actually kill each other fighting over domination. They will fight to the death. Who's the baddest? Who's the strongest? King of the hill stuff. So the white man or the Caucasian or the pink man needs to prove to the world, these other men, the white man is the strongest. And so the Asian, the Chinese, I'm coming for your title. And the Russians say, oh no, it's my turn. I'm getting ready to turn this baby out. And in this conflict, they destroy. They rape, they plunder, they poison. And they use their God and their spirits and whatever else they can get their hands on to justify their action. And so the women said, that's what the men's supposed to do, because that's what God said. When did you, lady, when did you talk to God? When did you say that? That's what God wants men to do. When did you talk to God? You repeating what a man told you from a book that men wrote. You never seen God write a book. You never met God. You have no idea. So of course, you're right, Robin. Like from that movie, The Last Dragon from 1985. Sure enough, wanted to show everybody, I'm the man. And Bruce Leroy didn't want to fight him. He knew Bruce Leroy had skill. But as long as Bruce Leroy was out there, there was that possibility he needed to show, I'm the baddest. So he forced Bruce Leroy into fighting him, because I'm the baddest. Sure enough. So this is what we're dealing with the mindset of men. And as we talk here, the people that's involved is men, mostly men. And if you see women, they were influenced and they were taught by these men. Ooh, I should have brought me some water. I'm going to try to make it though. Look, I grew up in the late 60s and early 70s. Some of you read that in a book and you tell me what was going on. Well, I read in a book in the 60s and the 70s. I don't have to read no book. I was living it. How you gonna tell me actually what was going on in the 60s, the late 60s and 70s? Because of what you read in the book. That book is based on somebody's opinion, their experience. don't mean that it's necessarily true. So I'm telling you about my experience, late 60s, 70s, because I lived it. I'm not telling you because I picked up a book about the 1960s, the civil rights movement and all that. No, I was alive. I was old enough to watch it on TV, part of it. Grew up in that era. I remember soul power. Some of you do. Some of you act like you forget. When there was black power, black power, black power. When there was black power, there was soul power. They went hand in hand. We were soul brothers and sisters. We was black and I'm proud. They pushed the black and I'm proud. I wonder why. I wonder why. We were soul brothers and sisters. And this soul was a description that came from us to my knowledge. It did not come from the Peckerwood, didn't come from the Africans, didn't come from the Asians. It came from us. It was our natural development as a people in this country so that we can grow into our own unique selves. So you have soul food and soul music. We dance a certain way. All over the world, influenced by soul. In Africa, in Asia, even till this day. But they don't want to really give you the credit, so they change the name so that you don't get the full credit for your talent. Now, of course, there was a very popular song called Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud. I remember that. Very popular song by the godfather of soul, James Brown, may he rest in peace, the original soul brother #1. And see, soul brother #1, to many of these people, that don't mean nothing. Soul people, y'all didn't, I mean, that's not like building the pyramids and being the first person to create medicine and all this other fantastical stuff that don't have nothing to do with you. It's not your history. So soul brother #1 is not good enough for you. It's good enough for me. Because I know my history for real. I respect the pyramids. I respect all the ancient history. It's not mine. I have nothing to do with it. James Brown was like myself, called a Negro born in America, a descendant of a slave. We are family. We are the same. So I have a connection to James Brown, coming from the same place, the same people. You want to claim history that you have no connection to, no contribution to, because it makes you feel good. It's wonderful to know that melanated people, dark-skinned people, African people accomplished and actually contributed to many of the things in this human life. But that's not me. And the reason why we're tripping on who did this first and who did that first is because y'all caught up in racism. So you need to claim as much greatness as you can so you can show black is #1, black supremacy. So if you're a Caucasian person, you got to show Edison invented the light bulb or whatever it is. So you got to prove that your race is supreme. Now, mind you, you never show your contribution to all this greatness. They built the pyramids. Where are your pyramids? What did you do? Absolutely nothing. The pink racists talk about what the white man did. What did you do? Thomas Edison, one of their great inventors, I don't remember nowhere where he wrote or nowhere he made a claim, my talent, I'm doing this for the white race. When Thomas Edison patented all his inventions, he did it in the name of Thomas Jefferson, not the white race. All the money, everything associated with his inventions go to his personal family. It don't go to the white race. You don't get nothing from the Egyptians. You want to claim them because they had dark skin or they was black. Has nothing to do with you at all. And I'm very sure whatever they accomplished, they did not do it because the black man is God and black man is supreme. They did not do it. They did it in the name of their nation, their family, their tribe. That's what people do. Just like you do. When you opening up your black business, very few of you is doing it in general for black people. You're doing it for your family. When you die, it goes to your son, your daughter. Your business do not go to black people. So y'all really need to stop that silly stuff. And you really need to get out of racism because it's made you sick. Patriarchy and racism has made the human being the most sickest life form on the planet. Like King Noble said, that's a fact. But I remember growing up in the late 60s and 70s, it was really a happy thing. When you said, I'm black and I'm proud, you was proud. And no matter where you went, and those who had that type of mindset, now, mind you, everybody was not black and I'm proud. Okay, they did not care about that stuff. You a bunch of troublemakers and y'all crazy. You're always going to have that bunch. But as you can see, the majority of the country, brothers and sisters, they was down with it. And it was a beautiful thing. Nobody wouldn't run around asking you all these questions. Are you a homosexual? I don't remember that. Are you married to a white woman? I can't live around a black man married to a white woman. I don't remember all this kind of stuff. And all this other stuff they've added to I'm black and I'm proud. What do all that have to do with being I'm black and I'm proud? You a drunk and you black and I'm proud. You a crackhead and can be black and I'm proud. What that has to do with being black and I'm proud? Are you black and I'm proud? That's all I remember. I don't remember all these questions and all this stuff, all this criteria that you got to pass. We all black people. We all soul brothers and sisters. We got this one enemy. Let's deal with it. That's all I remember. I don't remember all these other questions going around. But apparently, there must have been some because they was unable to unite. So it must have existed Not just as bad as it is now, but it must have existed then, because that Dr. King, he's an integrationist. I don't want nothing to do with him. Malcolm, he's too violent. I don't want nothing to do with him. Of course, that was going on. But in general, there was a different vibe when I was growing up. And you really did feel proud to be black. You was really proud to be a soul brother and sister. You was proud. But as time went on, that began to diminish. And it's not like that anymore. And as time went on, all this fist stuff start disappearing. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. So I would say, by the late 70s, all that black power, civil rights stuff, it was basically dead. It was. It was one voice that really caused all this black power, comedic, all this stuff to begin to rise up. I'm going to give credit where credit is due, because that's how it is. That's what it was. When Minister Louis Farrakhan stepped out and began to rebuild the Nation of Islam, when his voice became strong and the Nation of Islam start rising up, all these other things start clinging to Minister Farrakhan bootstraps, and they start coming up also. You said, brother, that's a damn lie. I lived it. I saw it. I'm not saying it did not exist. I'm not saying the Hebrew Israelites didn't exist, and the Moorish Science Temple and the Kemetic stuff. I'm not saying it didn't exist. I'm saying it's the voice and the popularity and the black talk of Farrakhan, and he raised himself first grassroots. Farrakhan raised himself first grassroots. Then, when he began to associate with Jesse Jackson, then he began to get into the national spotlight. And that's the reason why all these other organizations and all these other people began to rise, because Farrakhan was grassroots first, and they supported Farrakhan. And they supported Farrakhan when he first started raising or rebuilding the Nation of Islam. And the Farrakhan back then is not like the Farrakhan you see now. He was coming from a whole different point of view, a whole different dynamic. And so that's what happened. That's what happened. I give credit where credit is due. Because I was around. I'm out here in the streets. I'm seeing what's going on every day. I was in New York. I was in Chicago. I was in St. Louis, in New Orleans. I was in California. I saw it all. That's when all these other things start coming up. You didn't hear about all these other things until Farrakhan start bringing this talk back, this blackity black stuff. And that's what happened. And it sounds good. It sounds good. Talking about a brand new world, fear of a black planet, Public Enemy talking about how wonderful you are, God, and you royalty. Oh, this sounds so good. When I was a young man, sound good. Who wouldn't want to be a god? Who wouldn't want to be a king or a queen? Goddess. Who wouldn't want to be that? all this great stuff. And you hear it today. I was 17, 18 years old. And when you're a child, when you're 17, 18 years old, it sounds good. And you listening to your elders supposed to know. Your elders supposed to be leading us in the right direction. They're supposed to know more than me. I'm only 18 years old. I'm only 17 years old. I still got breast milk on my mouth. So I'm listening to all the hype, the showmanship. And I joined Farrakhan. And many of these other persons join these other different blackity black organizations or whatever. A new world just for us. Woo, yeah. I want to be part of that. I want to build that. When you're young, it's all right. And you can tolerate it when you're young. But see, my problem is I can't stay young. My problem is I've always been a self-thinker. So I'm looking at these things and I'm washing dishes for a living, making $3.25 an hour. I'm wearing a bow tie. I'm wearing a bow tie proudly. I'm in the street. Assalamu alaikum. Black power. All that. That's me. But time is moving and my condition is not changing. When you're a child living with your mama, when you're a child living with your daddy and they paying the bills, hey. But when you become an adult and you have to start accepting responsibility for yourself, then all this stuff, you got to begin to look at it in a different manner. So as I began to turn 18 and 19 and 20 and 21, and I'm listening to the talk. That's all it is talk. You don't see no real production. That's the problem. Talk, a lot of talk, but there's no production. A lot of excuse making. This is what they tell me. Well, brother, things take time. I understand that. I understand things take time. I understand that. How much time do you want? I gave you 9 years. Nothing. That's enough time. And you still have people waiting. They've been waiting on Jesus for 2,000 years. Are you serious? Still waiting on whatever Prophet Muhammad, 1,400 years. Still talking about Marcus Garvey, almost 100 years. Nation of Islam, over almost 100 years. How much time do you want? What do you mean? How much time do you need? You are in a much better position than the pilgrims that came all the way from Europe to America. You're in a better position than they are. They had no electricity. They had no gas. They had no cars. They had no bulldozers. They had none of that stuff. What is your problem? Why can't you produce? You got people coming all the way from Europe on a boat here. And look what they build. you are in a better position than them, and you can't produce nothing. Something is wrong. I hear what you're talking about, the hype. I hear that you God and the pyramids and all these fantastical stories and the black man was first doing everything. Abraham Lincoln really was a black man, and J. Edgar Hoover was a black man, and everybody that did anything worth anything in existence was a black man. Okay, all right, whatever. What do you produce? It has been very disappointing. And I know I'm not the only one. There are so many who have been involved in this blackity black stuff. They don't want to talk about it at all, period, because it's embarrassing. It was embarrassing for Malcolm X to be part of the Nation of Islam, and then they turned on him after he gave 12 years. The 12 years didn't mean nothing to them. It was an embarrassment for Malcolm to sit back and say, hey, I made a mistake. Hey, Malcolm should not feel bad. You do what's according to what you knew at the time. Fortunately, we found out that the Nation of Islam was not what it cracked up to be. And so, really, a lot of folks saved a lot of people from going through that drama of being used. And that's all pro-blackness really do, is use, because they don't produce. Tell lies and hype you up. They have no idea of what they're doing at all. Just a bunch of slave Negroes that talk. That's all they can do. Now they can shut me up by simply producing. He's a hater. He's jealous. Just produce. And I have nothing to talk about. Where your hospital? Where your airports? Where your bubblegum machine? Only thing you gotta do is produce. And stop all this damn lying. Minister Louis Farrakhan told me that Ronald Wilson Reagan was the last president. He was going to be the last president of this country. That's what he said. And a lot of people know he said this, and they just ignore it. How many presidents have there been since Ronald Wilson Reagan? Farrakhan said he was the Antichrist of the Bible because his name, 6 letters, 6 letters, 6 letters. Ronald Wilson Reagan, he's the Antichrist. And this was the fall of America, the end of America. And guess what? Now we here with a damn virus. And they just ignore. Folks just ignore that and keep rolling. Minister Farrakhan told me that the black man, we're going to have scientists and we're going to have surgeons and hospitals and all this stuff. 40 years later, where's all this stuff? You said things take time. 40 years later, do you have a medical clinic? At least to say a hospital, do you have a medical clinic? Do you have an urgent care? What do you mean things take time? Give, 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 just like any other church. They have the nerve to talk about the pimping pastor. And that's all we see that black conscience do. Pro-blackness, pan-Africanism. That's all they do is take, and promise. Sell you false promises and hope. That's all they do. Same stuff. If they produce, I have nothing to say. I'm like, hey, what can I talk about? Not only do they talk, they produce. These people are incompetent. Going back to Marcus Garvey, and some of you will get angry, but the truth of the matter was Marcus Garvey was incompetent. Marcus Garvey hired people because he liked them, not because they had the skills to run a business, and they ran the ship business into the ground. Their first mistake was they bought 2 raggedy, rundown boats. Why would you do that? If you can't afford to build your own, you can't afford to buy something good, why mess with it at all? Oh, to show off. So you can tell the people, we got a shipping line, we got 2 ships, but you're not telling the people, giving them the details. These some raggedy pieces of junk that should have been sunk in the ocean long time ago. Then they could not, they were incapable, and they should have been trying to make deals and see what kind of customers they were going to be able to get for the ships before they even bought the ship. And they knew these boats was pieces of junk, and they kept asking the people for money to invest in these rundown pieces of how you can't even, they knew it. And then at the end of it, they bought one more raggedy, rundown piece of junk and kept taking the people's money. And so when the government came down on Marcus Garvey, of course they wanted to come down on Marcus Garvey, but it really makes things easier when you help them. Marcus Garvey and his people was committing fraud. That's what they was doing. And instead of putting him in prison, they deported Marcus Garvey. That's what happened. Did he accomplish some things? Yes. Not taking that away. Was he able to organize and inspire? Yes. But see, you have human beings that have problems. Rowan says, let me put that up there so you can see it. Marcus Garvey was a megalomaniac. When you look at the story, that's what happened. Just like Farrakhan is a megalomaniac. And many of these YouTubers, they are megalomaniacs. It's just about their praise, what's good for them. They're incompetent. That was a good idea. The boats, the whole thing about the UNIA was a beautiful thing. It was a failure. Umar Johnson is pulling the exact same scam, except with a school. See? Same stuff. I'm not going to say that these people in the beginning wasn't sincere, that they didn't have a good heart. But I'm going to tell you, when money get involved and praise and women's backsides get involved, these men lose their mind. They can't stay on target. They can't stay on the path of the promised land because the booty looking too good. I already got a wife, but I need 1. I need 2. I need 3. I need 4. I need 100 wives. What about accomplishing your mission of creating a nation for your people? Do that first. No, I want my booty first. I want my money, and y'all put my picture on the wall Praise me. That's what's wrong with your Pan-African, pro-black, all this comedic. These people are megalomaniacs. I mean, if you're satisfied with that, hey, that's cool. As a young man, I told you, as a young man, as an immature man, this was, I could accept this. But as I grow up, that's the key. As I grow up, this is not acceptable. You're going to have to produce. I would give you time. I would give you time. How much time do you need? We have right now, and you jealous. Some of y'all jealous. You have immigrants from Africa, from Asia, from India, from Saudi Arabia, wherever they come from. They come here, get off straight off the boat, just cross the line, and do better than you do. Something is wrong. Well, how is that possible? We've been here all our lives, and you got Johnny-come-latelys that come here and do better. Now, mind you, the government and the racism, excuse me, they don't have to deal with racism like we do. But we've been here going on 500 years. We're used to it. We know how to tolerate it. We know how to work around it, and we move out. But for some reason, we don't know how to do that no more. We have always progressed in this country. Straight out of slavery, we progress in this country. What is stopping you from progressing now? You can't produce no more. What is it? At one time, see, look, at one time, even though we believed in Jesus, we also believed in ourselves. So we went to church every Sunday, but we believed in what I'm going to do. I know you don't like Christianity, and these black folks always talk about Christianity, but the most progress we've ever made as a people in this country, people was Christians. They believed in Jesus. How many people are black Christians feeding in this country? Putting clothes on their back, getting them off the street, helping them get jobs. The black Christians are doing that. What is the black Pan-African comedic Hebrew Israelite? What are they? What are their programs? What are they doing? What have they done? They're gonna talk about the Christians do this and the Christians. I heard that young Pharaoh talk about Dr. King. What did you produce? What have you produced? What have you done? The black Christians have, since slavery, have outperformed this black stuff 110 to 1, 100 to 1. Like MC Hammer said, you can't touch this. Yeah, you put on a show and you strong, Ungawa. Where that brother comment, he said, Stokely Carmichael said something about Ugawa. Yeah. Ungawa, Black Power. Yeah, y'all put on a good show, all this Black Power stuff. But what have you actually done? Nothing. Put on a good show. I remember as a young Muslim, and the people was coming from up out of our meeting in New York City, and Minister Farrakhan gave this big speech. How many people came out? It was a lot of folks, 5,000, 6,000, a whole lot of folks came out. And a sister came out, and she turned to me, she said, that was a nice show y'all put on. And she went on, I'm looking at her, she made me angry. What do you mean, lady? That was a nice show. Little did I know, she was 1,000% on the money. It was a show. I was young, 18. I'm caught up in all this stuff, like Brother BNX. Just like Wesley Muhammad, just like Nuri Muhammad, they caught up in the show. It's all a show. They caught up in the show. The Farrakhan show. Because they can tell you about the show, they can tell you about the teachings, but if they cannot tell you about what they are producing, because they're not producing anything. And whatever they have, whatever they claim they got, it's not enough to brag about. That's why they don't talk about it. Now, if you one of these materialistic guys and you want to show off your car, you want to put your car in the driveway and your car don't even need a car wash, but you just want people to see what you got. And you just painting, you polishing and washing. And you like when people pass by, hey, brother, that's a nice car you got. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, man. That's what you want to hear. If the Nation of Islam, if these Pan-African, Kemetic, Hebrew Israelite, Moor sons, if they had anything they could brag about, anything worth that they produce, they would brag about. They don't have nothing to brag about. But they're going to turn around and talk about what Christians don't do. What is sad, and I'm going to end this talk with this. And the question I want to raise is, there should be a hidden colors number 6. I don't even know how to count. Number 6. There should be a hidden colors number 6, Mr. Tariq Nasheed. You might say, what I'm talking about is negative. No, what I'm talking about is the truth. And if you don't like it, then you change it. Then you produce. Hidden colors, number 6, pro-blackness, 50 years of failure. So we're going to go back 50 years. And I want these people, and they never do because they know they cannot do it. I want them to show 50 years of production from the Black conscious community. The first problem is these dumbasses, they can't even unite with each other. These Pan-Africans and pro-black, black first, they so silly and immature and dumb, they cannot even unite with one another. When you look at Minister Louis Farrakhan, it's all about him. You don't see him really tag team. You see him trying to tag team with Scientology, but you don't really see him tag teaming with always talking this black unity stuff. Who else is he associated with like that? I don't know. Tell me. Hidden colors number 6, Tariq Nasheed's inner white supremacist in-laws. Right. How can Tariq Nasheed get away and be allowed to talk all this pro-black stuff, and he got a white woman actually living in his house, just like Farrakhan? They actually have white people who are relatives living in their house, and they talking all this pro-blackity black stuff. But again, now for me, I don't care. It's about production. They're not producing anything. They're taking from you and not giving us nothing in return. A sister told me, because she didn't like what I had to say about Minister Farrakhan, oh, so what do you want us to do? Give you all your little money, pay you for what you did when you was in the Nation of Islam? Will that make you happy? I said, yes. I'll be waiting on the check. And I would tell people, I said, hey, they gave me a check for whatever amount of money. I mean, of course, it's not, I mean, you really can't, they really can't afford to pay me for my 9 years of service. They can't afford it. But, hey, they gave me a little money to show, hey, I have to give you credit. That's not the case. They're not going to give you nothing. The only thing they're going to do is take. Once your money, once your time, whatever, leaves you, you're not going to get nothing back. Brother Polite, many of you have heard of Brother Polite. This is just only one incident. Has a lot of other people. A young man, because he's caught up in this fantasy, caught up in all this fancy talk and showmanship by Brother Polite. One of his relatives dies and leaves him about, I forgot how, about $15,000, $18,000, $20,000, something like that. He gives it all, not a little bit at a time. He decides to give it all. I'm like, wow. To Brother Polite. And Brother Polite gives him nothing. And now he comes, now this person comes on the internet crying, oh, Brother Polite ripped me off. Did Brother Polite rip you off, or are you just a damn fool? Caught up in all, I mean, okay, I can understand you getting caught up in some stuff. But to rip, I mean, first of all, the money was intended for you. Your relative died and gave it to you. It's for your purpose. Well, I guess your purpose was to give it to Brother Polite. Okay, that's what you decided to do. Now you crying. There are people who have mortgaged their houses and sacrificed and done a lot of things for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and got nothing in return, and they feel stupid. There are a lot of people who are talking about Umar Johnson. A lot of these people gave Umar Johnson money, and now they feel stupid. Now I got to bring Umar Johnson down. They obsessed. Got to bring down Umar Johnson. I really don't know how. I understand. But see, a lot of us are doing this and we're grown. I was a child. I was fascinated by the Nation of Islam when I was a little baby, 7, 8 years old. Then Mr. Farrakhan came out of nowhere and began raising the temple up. And that's just something I wanted to be part of all my life. But like I told you, I'm a self-thinker. And I look out for myself first. I never gave Farrakhan thousands of dollars. Never. I don't mind selling the bean pies, the eggs, or whatever it is that we're doing. I don't mind doing the work. But when it came to my money, I'm funny with my money. You don't get my money that easy, because I was washing dishes, $3.25 an hour. Look, no. I'm just gonna be giving my money away like that. I don't have children, but I had sisters and brothers and my mother and people that was depending on me we was living together at that time. My money goes to my family. Now, I might give you $2 or $3 or $5 or whatever. You're not gonna get from me. But there are those of you, you're looking for a savior. You're looking for a savior. You're looking for a Messiah. You're looking for an easy way out. And Farrakhan and Polite and Sarah Seti and Sonetta and China Fox and the list goes on and on, Cynthia G and whoever, these people who are megalomaniacs, who only take, you don't see them give nothing back. They don't produce nothing. And you give. So I challenge Tariq Nasheed. Hidden Colors, number 6. I want him to make a Hidden Colors number 6 and show 50 years of production from the Black conscious, Pan-African community, Black artists, Black power stuff. Make a video, show us, because apparently I didn't get the memo. Apparently there's a lot of this stuff I missed. I don't see the hospital. I don't see the factories. I don't see nothing that they produce except talk. Well, ancient Kemet, we was the first people to play with a rubber ball. We was the first people that picked an orange off the tree. We was the first people to look at the moon. So what? We was the first person to get gas and fart. What did you do? I don't know. It sure stank. You're the first person that ever started. Farted. Oh, goodness gracious. So what? We was the first person. No matter what human beings do, no matter who do it first, if it's a good idea, pretty soon all human beings are going to use it. So the hell what? Big deal. You are in a position where we need to take care of ourselves because clearly nobody don't give a damn about us. And we have to produce. All this talk, all this history, and all this fancy showmanship, that don't mean nothing. I am so happy that soul brothers and sisters, the descendants of slaves, born in America, with melanated or dark skin in this country, I'm glad that the majority of the people here don't give a damn about this pro-blackness, black stuff. I'm glad they don't. They might listen, they just basically ignore. If they was interested, Brother Polite, Farrakhan, they would be getting millions of views, but they don't. You can put Tariq Nasheed, Farrakhan, Sonetta, you can put all these guys together and they barely can make a million views because the people not interested. You're not producing nothing because if you was producing something, the people would say, hey, you cannot be ignored. Hey, that hospital just for black folks built that? That racetrack? We in the racing business? We doing our own NBA now? We got our own stadium? Now you're getting the attention of the people. Now they want to know. Now they want to know about blackness. Now they want to be proud of being black. What is there to be proud to be black of in 2020? Talk to me, Invo. Can you tell me what is there? What can you point to in 2020? What is it that we're proud to be black for? I mean, what have we accomplished? What are we doing? You got the brothers going down the street with saggy pants, showing their butt cheeks, sisters half naked, drunk going down the road. That's black and I'm proud. You got pro-black folks threatening each other. If you don't do this, I'll come to your house and beat your ass. All this kind of stuff. What is there to be black and proud of? There's nothing. That's why I say, and of course it goes in one ear and out the other. That's why I say the Mississippi campaign is the best thing that we could do, because the Mississippi campaign forced us to unite. Because if you don't unite, it will not work. The Mississippi campaign forces us to change our mindset, our behavior. The Mississippi campaign, upon its success, will inspire the people to be black and I'm proud, because now you have produced something tangible. What more? What more can you, how not can you be proud? And you can say, as a soul brother, as a black man, as an African, or a black Christian, or a black Muslim, you can say, hey, I'm going on vacation to the homeland. People think that you're talking about Africa. No, I'm talking about the state of Mississippi. We run that. And right now, we are in the stages of taking control of Alabama and Georgia. Now you got something to be proud of on a big national level, really an international, worldwide level. People looking at you different. Those Negroes, what are they doing over there in America? And of course, you're going to have copycats. You're going to have a group of Asians. Hey, we want our own state. You're going to have maybe the Irish or either other Africans that come to this country. Hey, we want to do that too. See, they don't have the numbers. We actually have the numbers to accomplish this and do it well. We have the numbers. We have the money. We have the talent. Everything we need, we got it. The only thing we don't have is proper leadership. The only thing we don't have is the right mindset. You tripping on things that don't mean nothing. You's a homosexual, a transgender. You married to a frog. It's dumb stuff. You can be married to a frog. Do you want to take control of this state? Bring your frog and your tadpoles and let's do it. I don't have no concern. That's your personal business if you love a frog. And you kiss the frog and you think it's going to be a prince or a princess one day. That's your business. This benefits the people. There's a difference between your personal wants, your personal beliefs, and what is in the best interest of a people. But see, that's your problem. You greedy and you selfish and you're a bunch of know-it-alls. So the only thing you're going to do is simmer in your nothing, because that's the only thing you know how to produce is nothing. You're incompetent. You're a dumbass. The only thing you can do is talk. So I don't want to come on your program. I don't think you're going to do and talk and try to show off what you know. And what you know don't mean nothing. It's filled with a bunch of error and mistakes. And you get angry and you don't want people to point that out. So you stay the hell away from Anger Snubbing Up 7. You don't want to be called out because you know you can't explain the unexplainable. You know you can't explain your damn lies. So I'm fine over here doing what I do. Well, you ain't producing nothing either. Absolutely correct. Because I don't have any help. So if I don't have any help, you don't expect me to produce nothing. You, on the other hand, lots of money, lots of education, lots of knowledge, lots of help, and y'all don't produce nothing. You don't have no more than I do, which you should feel really, really embarrassed, but you don't. That's acceptable. 50 years. I want somebody to make a video. I want to show 50 years. Matter of fact, this is what I want you to do also. Compare what black Christians do compared to what the pro-black, black conscious comedic, what all these suckers do. And let's see who really helped the black community, the soul community. I already know. The black Christian's gonna run away with it. Yeah, they believe in Jesus. And they want to convert you to Jesus Christ. But they also can help you. And they also produce. I would say that the majority of black-owned business is Christians. I would say, I don't know, I haven't done my research. I'm just assuming, I'm just guessing that the majority of black-owned business is Christians. How is that? Why is that? How is that possible? So, all this arrogancy, and you don't have a pot to piss in. I'm not going to sit around here and try to make you feel good. I'm not going to do that. If you want somebody to make you feel good, go to Taalik, Nasheed, go to Farrakhan, go to Young Pharaoh, go to them guys, Brother Polite, and make sure you go to their Cash App and their GoFundMe and whatever else they got out there, because that's what they want. And of course, praise them. Oh, Farrakhan, you're the most smartest man that ever lived. Farrakhan claimed that he can teach you in an hour what you haven't learned all your life. Woo! Are you serious, man? That's a hell of a claim. Farrakhan said, I can teach you in 1 hour what you didn't learn all your life. Something to that effect. Are you serious? What do you have, sir, that you can teach in an hour that makes my life experience mute? Really? These people making all these old wacky claims. Oh, you get out of here, serious stuff. But I just wanted to put that out there because I would like to see a Hidden Colors number 6, pro-blackness, over 50 years of failure. Now, I have people in the chat room. I have people watching. And I could be wrong. I don't see it. I see the beautiful talk. I see the showmanship, the research. I see the information. I don't see the production. I don't see the application that equates to the production of all this stuff that you're talking about. Well, things take time. How much time do you need? And once we get there, what is your excuse going to be once we get there why you still have not produced? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan been working 40 years. How much time do you need? Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X had less money, less support. They did not have social media, the World Wide Web. The Peckerwood was on their case much worse and produced way more than Farrakhan done in 40 years. Explain that. I'm listening. Either you want liberation or you don't. Do you want to do better or you don't? Clearly, you don't want to do better because you're stuck in the past. What Elijah done, what Malcolm done, what Marcus Garvey done. Keep talking about what they done in Egypt. Talking about that the past tense. You want to talk about your paycheck from last week. Your paycheck from last week don't mean nothing. We want to know about, can you pay the bills with your paycheck from this week? We don't care nothing about what happened last week. That's over and done with. Go to your landlord and tell your landlord, well, I paid the rent last month. Yeah, but you telling me you don't have the money this month. Your landlord don't want to hear that. Your employer don't want to hear, well, I came in early to the job all last week. Yeah, but you an hour late this week. What does that have to do with what you're doing now? What does that have to do with what you're doing now? Whatever Egypt done, ancient Ethiopia, what Elijah Muhammad did, Malcolm and Sojourner Truth and Heritage, what they done, what does that have to do now? You need to produce now. You cannot eat an egg that laid the egg in 1964. We eat the eggs of chicken that laid the eggs in 2020. The chicken that laid eggs in 1964 don't help us now. So now, I'm ready to go. I'm very thankful for you joining me. I always appreciate that you would come and keep me a little company. Thank you for all those in the chat room, and make sure I acknowledge everybody. I think I acknowledged everybody. What's up there, twin? Hey, Sister Tangie, what's going on? Hey, Sister Cassandra, Facebook. Want to thank my Facebook people for joining me. Appreciate it. Like I say, I was feeling a little under the weather. Been fighting this ailment, this stomach ailment, but slowly but surely, I feel as though I'm getting better. And due to old age, I don't heal like I used to, so it's going to probably take a little bit more time, but I feel as though I'm getting better, not worse. And I wanted to come here and just spend a little time with us because, like I always tell you, time is not guaranteed to us. This might be my final video lecture to us. If it is, so be it. There's nothing I can do about it. I would hope that you would take these words. I hope that in some kind of way that you would continue this mindset. Those of you who come here and listen to the sound of my voice, I want you to understand that you are special. You really are. You really are and have been raised from the dead. Really, the mental death. You are not subject to nobody. Your mind is totally open. You worship no God. You are not looking for a savior, Messiah. You think for yourself. You are not bogged down by some type of title. I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. You are truly mentally free. And that's a wonderful feeling. It's undescribable. The average person out there who caught up in these jails, who's incarcerated by religion and spirituality, they have no idea, they cannot comprehend a free mind. The only thing they can do is learn how to navigate their jail cell. That's the only thing they know how to do, is navigate their jail cell. That's all they know. It's like a tiger. They remind me of a tiger in a cage. You know how tigers and lions, they just walk around the cage. That's all they know how to do. They just walk around the cage. Their minds is zombified. They don't even know who they are. I am Farrakhan. I am Marcus Garvey. They are everybody except they don't know who they are. I am John Henry Clark. They all these books that they read. Who are you? How do you think? What about you? They lost themselves trying to be somebody else. I'm going to say that again. They lost themselves trying to be somebody else. So when people like me and you ask them certain questions, a lot of times they cannot answer because their books and their heroes, Farrakhan or Tariq Nasheed, young Pharaoh, they did not teach them the answer. So they don't know what to say back. So usually you an agent, you a coon, you a Sambo. They don't know how to respond. You and me got the problem. Nothing wrong with them. So you're going to get angry at me because you can't answer a question that you should know. But you limited in what you can know because your mind, you filled your mind not with your own thoughts, but with the mindset and the beliefs from others. Some of these others are alive right now. The majority of them are long gone dead. So we don't want to be that way. We want to be able to think for ourselves. When you bring your comments here, you teach me, you help me, because I cannot see everything. I don't know everything. See, they know everything. I don't know everything. I can't see everything. So another thing is, in order for the Mississippi campaign to work, it's going to take different people because I don't know everything. I can inspire, I can motivate, I can lay down the basics and tell us how we need to move, but there's a lot of things I just don't know. I don't know. And I would tell you, I don't know. I have no problem with telling you, I don't know. So, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I thank you again for joining me. I really appreciate it. I want to thank Facebook for allowing me to use that platform as well as YouTube. And we got to do better. If we can't do better than this, we done. It's just a matter of time. And maybe that's a good thing. Because if this is our legacy, this is the way we're going to continue to live. Hey, might as well be done. We're done anyway. So, I'm out of here. Thank you again, my family, Facebook family, for joining me this afternoon. And thank you, of course, YouTube and the chat room and those who are listening. Subscribe, like, whatever you feel like you want to do. Share, copy the video. Copy the video, make your own channel and put the videos down on there. I mean, saturate YouTube with this word. We need it. Our people need to hear another point of view, because clearly what is popular, what they're being given, is not nutritious. It's not nutritious. It has stunted their growth. They're not getting the proper food. So their food is, their growth is stunted. As a people, we're stunted. We can't move. Haven't done nothing since the civil rights movement. Something is wrong. And all this talk, all this fancy talk and information and all this fancy stuff, that don't mean nothing when you don't produce. And they even said, we must produce. We must stop being consumers. We must produce. Why can't you do it? First of all, you don't unite. You won't unite. You're too arrogant. You're too silly, immature, selfish, and arrogant to unite with your brothers and sisters. So you're going to get what's coming to you. A good old-fashioned ass whooping. I hope not to be, I don't think that I will be around for the climax, for the conclusion of this story of the American Negro. But it's not, I don't see a happy ending. And your people that you're giving all your money and time to don't care, as long as they can live the good life, live like the Peckerwood. As long as they live in their fancy house and all this jewelry and fancy shoes and alligator shoes and whatever. I don't care about stuff like that. We need to be liberated. We need to be free. You don't know. Now, I can. If I wanted to, I could come on here with fancy jewelry and hats and stuff. I could do that. For what? I'm still a Negro slave in America, no matter how I dress up. Still a Negro slave in America. Farrakhan, still a Negro slave in America. Tariq Nasheed. The black man in this country has no respect. Nobody respects us. You've done nothing to earn respect. However, if you took over that state, whether they like it or not, they're going to respect you. You have a state behind you. Right now, you don't have nothing. You call Africa the motherland, and Africa do not back you up doing nothing. You got to learn how to take what people give you, take advantage of it, and use it for yourself. Use it for us as a people. They already using it for themselves. Farrakhan is rich. Tariq Nasheed getting his money, Polite and young Pharaoh. They know how to take advantage of you. You should stop letting these people take advantage of you, because they know that you are sincere and that you really want a change, well, the time has come. I am here, and many other brothers and sisters are here, that you ignore with the solution that we need to change this condition once and for all. Give us some time. Give us some time. You gave all these other, you've given pro-blackness over 50 years, 100 years of time. And what have you got? Nothing. Stop letting these folks hustle us. When you come here, this is not a hustle. It ain't that serious. Hustle for what? There is no benefit for me. If I live another 20 years, that's good. I don't need houses and cars and all these trinkets. When the reality is, you're still a slave. So what? You're a slave in a costume. Now, when I dress like this, and I am in my own state, and the brothers and sisters design our own kind of clothes we like to wear, the national clothes, that's different. I don't mind wearing that costume because we earned it. We earned the cotton that we grew, and the shirts and the shoes and everything. We produce all this. So when I wear the costume, this uniform, I can be proud because we produced it. We put it together. We grew the cotton. It's us. We didn't get it from Tommy Hilfiger. We didn't get it from some Caucasian designer. And we look into building our own cars. If not, we can have trade with Africa. I heard Africa is building cars. Let's get some of them. Bring them here. So all the cars in Mississippi, the cars we drive in Mississippi, they African made, produced in Africa. And the Africans bring their factory and put it in our state, which brings jobs to our people. It's so much. It's just so much that we could do. You're following wacky folks that have no imagination, have no vision, don't know what the hell they're doing. You want to keep going on that path? That's your business. I can't get with it. I'm not going to get with it. And oh man, we letting time pass us by. Pretty soon, we might not even have time to do nothing. We're just going to have to get that old ass whooped. Simple as that. On that note, let me get out of here. Thank you for listening, everybody. And I catch you on the flip. As Soul Brother Don Cornelius always told us as important, I wish us love, peace, and soul. We out.